لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك. محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد نبينا بنور هدينا.
Officials of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON, led by its chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar Muhammad, have visited Lagos State Hajj camp. This was on Tuesday, the 24th of November 2018. It was in continuation of such visits by the Commission to see firsthand the pace of work on the upgrade of Hajj camps across the country. During the visit, NAHCON chairman expressed satisfaction with the level of work on the project. He praised the zonal officers for their diligence and urged them to put in more efforts in order to record more successes. The projects are being carried out under the Hajj Development Levy Fund.
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد.
The Kaduna State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board has directed its officers in charge of pilgrims registration to ensure that guidelines for exercise are strictly adhered to. The overseer of the board, Imam Hussein Oho Ikara, stated this while flagging of the commencement of pilgrims registration in Giwa local government. The overseer restated the conditions for the registration of pilgrims. He said, among other things, pilgrims must be in good health condition and present guarantor. He warned that the board will not accept registration by proxy. Imam Hussein explains more in an interview.
We have it in place that no intending pilgrim will be registered by proxy. But you will see sometimes our registration officers, maybe because of the caliber of the person that came to register on behalf of somebody, they will collect the passport and register that person. And at the end, it may create some chaos to us. But this year we are saying all the guidelines must be followed strictly. So the issue of registering and intending pilgrim by proxy will not even arise.
The registration of the pilgrims is in line with the directive given by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON. It is to be done in installments. Pilgrims who registered expressed satisfaction with the process, saying they will do their best to fulfill all requirements.
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد.
The Saudi government says it will not relent in ensuring that pilgrims get the best services during Hajj or Umrah. Deputy Chairman of the Makkah Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Marwan Shaban, stated this in Khartoum, the Sudanese capital, at Saudi Sudanese Forum for the Development of Umrah Services. He pointed out that the forum is designed to strengthen brotherhood among the Muslim Ummah. 70 delegations from different companies operating in Saudi Arabia attended the meeting.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة.
The decision of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, to register pilgrims electronically, otherwise known as e-registration, is in compliance with the provisions of its Act. The NAHCON Act says the Commission shall establish and maintain a biometric data bank of all Nigerian intending pilgrims for the Hajj and Umrah exercise.
The pilgrim registration system is a system or is a platform designed to accommodate all the intending pilgrims in Nigeria in order to minimize or to wipe out the issue of abscondment, because we do have cases of abscondment all around every year. And secondly, to get the detailed information of pilgrims in case of death, lost, or any other thing that may happen in the Saudi Arabia.
In carrying out its task, NAHCON developed a portal through which it registered pilgrims in each state, the FCT, and the armed forces.
We have our own portal, online registration portal. Then we also have the Saudi registration portal, which is called eTrack. Usually we start with our own portal because you have to register on our own portal before you do it on the Saudi's portal.
That is the eTrack registration. Now, when we've captured their registrations on our own eHajj platform, then the next thing is the eTrack. The eTrack registration is actually a platform that has been developed and deployed by Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for management of Hajj pilgrims. So now on the platform again, the Saudi authority also call us in. So we usually travel to Saudi Arabia, have this meeting with them. After the meeting, they guide us through some of the adjustments and changes they've made on the platform. And then they give us administrative rights onto the platform. The rights also include the functionality to create users on the platform. So after giving us this, we come back to Nigeria, then we create users on the platform for the various states, and also create users on the platform for the management itself, because the management also has its requirement in terms of supervising and monitoring the registration. So they give us these details, we go to the platform, and based on the requirements of the management, we create this.
With the 2019 Hajj registration exercise underway across the country, NAHCON is taking steps to upgrade its portal and also make it user-friendly, as well as train ICT personnel for state pilgrims boards in order to acquaint them with the process.
This year, we have we are in the process of reviewing the system, making sure that the system is faster, easier to use, and we intend to also do some things that will make the interface more friendly and less tedious for the registration officers who are in charge of registering pilgrims at state level. So basically, in a nutshell, you can say we want to make the usage of the portal easier for the end users.
ICT division is responsible for training the ICT staff from different states, from all the states. And after the training, the ICT staff send in the names of the ICT staffs that will be operating on the e-portal, on the Pilgrim Reg portal, that's Pilgrim Registration Portal. So once they send in the details, then we create login details for them so that they'll be able to access the portal and register their pilgrims accordingly.
Each state has to give us the names of their registration, ICT online registration officers. Because if you notice, there are some states, the management of their boards and commissions do change. When the management changes, some of the staff that are operating these units also change. So yearly, we actually make this request from the states. So when they give us the list of these people, we come to the ICT division now goes onto the platform, the online platform, and create profiles for these users. After creating the profiles for these users, we communicate it to the various states. Now, henceforth, now the states at their designated locations now can start collecting payment from pilgrims, and then they can start registering the pilgrims on the platform.
Related to this, NAHCON also came up with the Hajj Agency Travel Information Management for the registration of licensed companies as well as renewal of the company licenses.
It will even ease the process of registration and application of licensing for the companies itself. It will ease that for them. It will also ease our own internal operation, whereby these people come, submit this document, tell this office that no, this document is submitted, please go and cross-check it. They will have to just sit at their end over there in their offices, just go onto the platform and just load informations and scan copies of these drafts and documents onto the platform by sitting in their office, and they'll just leave the rest work for the commission to process. It will ease it in both ways. That's on that part, just the registration. On the other side is, it will also help in keeping records of their own pilgrims. This is the first time that the tour operators will have to register their pilgrims on the platform for us to also monitor. So the issues of things like abscondment and all those things, this is one way to actually minimize or totally reduce it or resolve or stop it from even happening. Because on the platform, we will have the numbers of people that are registered under your company going for Hajj. So we can easily go to the platform, check it and see those people you've carried to Hajj and how many of them have returned back.
With the data of pilgrims captured in the portal, NAHCON can easily put them in groupings on the Saudi e-track portal for the allocation of accommodation and feeding arrangements, among other services rendered to pilgrims.
So we have to also check consistency of the data they have on our platform and the data now they are loading on the Saudi Arabia's platform. So we check that before we give them a go that, okay, the data there are consistent and they are okay. Then after that again, then we also have to take receive confirmation from our own account or financial department that, okay, these people have made they've met all requirements of payments, so that now we can start processing their visas on the platform. And then the process of visas, as usual, requires you to secure accommodation on Makkah, accommodation in Makkah, accommodation during the Mishara activity, then the accommodation even in Medina, then the transportation for the pilgrims, what's it called, the feeding for the pilgrims. So all these packages will also be, will be entered on the Saudi Arabia's platform for all the pilgrims. So after we've done that, then there's this process we call grouping. We actually do them in batches. So that after doing them in batches, then we'll process them. After processing them, when we get an okay, that yes, the payments is very relevant, the data is okay, and then the Saudi Arabia will then debit the commission based on the batch that are processed. After that, and that means the pilgrims are ready for visa.
For transparency and efficiency, the Commission ensures that ICT units in the states are carried along.
The Commission collaborates, and in the spirit of transparency, which has been the motto of the Commission since day one, they carry along the states right from the beginning on all Hajj activities. And the registration portal, e-registration, is a very important aspect of Hajj activities. So, like this year, there was already a meeting between the executives of Hajj Commission, the stakeholders meeting, and the states, in which they discussed with the states on the modalities of 2019 Hajj. So those are basically the ways that we collaborate with states on these issues.
In addition, NAHCON expects states to comply with all the guidelines on the portal. While the registration is ongoing, NAHCON ensures that states are monitored in order to address any challenge that might come up.
With more users A lot of users comes in from 36 states plus the military, that's the armed forces. So it will be bombarded all the time, so you'll definitely expect a lot of issue on the system. So from a bug will just, the server will have an issue, to the system will hit up. We have to do some back end thing to make sure that we fix the code. Usually the state contact us immediately this kind of issue arise, and then we do our best to make sure everything works within 24 hours. And from sometime they usually have issue from even keying in or capturing a passport of a pilgrim. Sometimes if they capture the passport of a pilgrim, the system will refuse to move further. Or if they impute any details, the system will refuse to move further. So they have to call on to us, and then we'll make the appropriate changes, or we'll do the fixing from our own end.
At times we place personal calls if there is emergency, or if the user is stuck, he doesn't know what to do, we now tell him what to do. At times, if that one don't work, we use Skype or email to do video call. At times, if it warrants, the problem is not resolved, then there is what we call in ICT, we use what do you call this? We use PC Anywhere. From my own desk here in Abuja, I will log on into somebody's system in Bayelsa. Then I will take over and resolve the issue. That's how it has been done over the years. But this year, we intend to develop video tutor for the respective users, so that if they are stuck, they will use the video tutor to come up with the solutions they need. If it warrants, if they cannot do it, then we'll continue with our normal Skype call or video call or whatsoever to solve the problem.
Maybe states that changed personnel. For a new personnel that is just coming in, who is not familiar with the system, using the system, because on the system you have to use what we call passport reader, which is electronic. If you cannot, if you don't know how to install the software for the system, or you don't know how the passport reader works with the portal, you will have issues. So those are some newbies, some new people who just joined some states. They had that challenge, and each time they have challenge, we are always here to support them. They give us a call, or they contact us via SMS or via WhatsApp, and then we help them.
The challenges experienced during the 2018 Hajj registration basically relate to late commencement of pilgrims and acquisition of national identification number. NAHCON is taking steps to address all these. One of them is through the early registration of pilgrims. There was also the issue of few biometric capturing machines at the initial stage of the exercise introduced by the Saudi government.
We had issues with NIN number. Most of the pilgrims were not getting their NIN numbers on time, so that kind of slowed down the registration process, because NIN number is very important during the registration. And also the new, Saudi has introduced a new process of biometrics. Every pilgrim must take the biometrics before traveling. So, it's a new thing, and the states are not used to it, and that was part of what slowed the registration process last year. But I'm sure this year things would, since everybody's now aware of it, things would improve.
We have a time frame. So if you didn't come within this time frame and do it, then there will be challenges. And this year we're hoping, I don't know, but we are hoping we have all the intended pilgrims data by end of Ramadan. By 30th Ramadan or 29th Ramadan, we should be able to have complete data of intended pilgrims who have the intention of going for 2019 Hajj. So with this kind of things, completely you don't have any challenges. But if the pilgrims are not coming in at the early stage, Like somebody will now say, it's after Ramadan he decides to go. Then with this kind of things, we'll have challenges.
The Commission also intervened when some new ICT personnel in the states found it difficult to function effectively during the registration of their pilgrims. The portal is also designed to handle cases related to cancellation of travel plans, death of an intending pilgrim, or any other reasons that alters travel initial plans.
Individual states we usually provide lodging details for them to be able to log into the system and start registration of their pilgrims. Usually we usually receive a lot of queries then, a lot of complaints, which comes from pilgrims withdrawing from participating in the Hajj, or death, or the case of death, or the case of accident, which the state usually communicate with us and we put them through on what to do. Some of the things we usually ask them is to write officially to the chairman and request whatsoever they think they want us to do, and we'll receive directive from the CEO and we will implement on the system. If in the case of if it is to erase the data of the intending pilgrim or to make any alteration on the impute.
NAHCON's adoption of ICT in its operation is to have a computer-based multifaceted solution for pilgrims' registration, flight arrangements, and the management of health systems. This will enable the Commission to enhance its work at all times.
Our feedback segment is back, and we begin tonight with this message from Hassan Ibrahim from Zaria, Kaduna State. The message sent via WhatsApp reads, "We appreciate the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON and state pilgrims boards for the ongoing work to upgrade Hajj camps across the country." The second message came from Binta Saad in Abuja. The message says, "I am advising NAHCON to demand, among other things, the phone number of pilgrims during registration. Through this, intending pilgrims can easily be contacted when the need arises." The last message tonight is from Adamu Shogu. It reads, "I'm grateful to NAHCON and Kaduna State Pilgrims Boards for delivering our luggage on time. I also received my Zamzam water. Thank you."
إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك الله